See what these permissions, what are permissions? Why do we need permissions? See, first thing, Linux is a multi-user system. Multi-user system means there are many users simultaneously logging into the system. So user A can log into the system, user B can log into the system. And say user A will create files here. User C or D also will create files here. Now, see the files created by A should not be deleted by B, right? The files created by B should not be deleted by A. So how will you protect the files created by one user from another user? Actions, modifying or deleting. How will you do that? That is true. So you will give access rights to users. So you will protect the files and applications from modifications or changes using permissions. Permissions means, so when you go to when you visit some places, you will see, if you go to an office, you will see the board. Entry is permission restricted, correct? Isn't it? Hello, entry
Yes, sir.
restricted.
Yes, sir.
So these are restrictions basically on files. So when you create a file in Linux, when a file is created in Linux, three types of users are involved in it. First is the owner who creates the file. Next, group a set of users who has the same access permissions. Then others. Others who does not belong to the owner or group. So owner is the person who creates the file. He has full access, full rights, permissions on the file. Group is a set of users. For example, there is a file. In accounts, there are 10 users. So these account users have read access. HR department has 20 users. They have write access. So, instead of giving the read access to these 10 different users, you can create a group and assign the read access to group. Instead of giving write access to 20 different users, you can create a group and assign the write access to these users to a single group. So now when you use ls minus l command on any files, see here you are seeing the output like this, correct? Hello, ls minus l m file.
Yes.
What are you seeing? See you are, oh, why is that? Yes, okay, ls minus l m file. So you are seeing the output like this. So first you are seeing the permissions, then you are seeing the link or shortcuts. You are seeing the owner or user. You are seeing the group, size of the file, date of modification, name of the file. The same way, so a file has or directory has permission fields. So you have read, write, execute permission for owner. First three characters represent user or owner permission. Next three characters represent group permissions. Last three characters represent others permission. Now, see these permissions are read, write, and execute. So read permission is represented by R, write permission is represented by W, execute permission is represented by X. So this is in letters, and the first character is representing the type of the file. If it is a folder, it will be D. If it is a regular file, it will be a hash. Now, read permission in number, it is represented as 4. Write permission is represented as 2. Execute permission is represented as 1. Now, see, so if a user has read, write, execute permission, the total permission of this user in number will be 7. How will you get 7? 4 plus 2 plus 1, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is
Yes,
it?
sir.
Yes, sir.
If the permission of the user is read and write only, what will be his permission in number? 6, right? 4 plus 2, 6. If the permission of the user is read, no, write, execute, the permission will be
5.
5, right?
Yes.
Like that. If the user does not have any permission, the number permission will be 0, right?
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
Yes.
So now, so um, okay, no permission is represented like this dash. Now, see, every user and group in a Linux system has a user ID and group ID. So the root user has an ID 0. Root group also has a 0. And other users, normal users will have an ID, user ID 1000 and 1001, like that. Okay, now, see, the first character, if it is a hash, it will be regular file. First character, if it is a D, it is a directory. L represents symbolic link, that is shortcuts, same like shortcuts in Windows. C represent character file, that represent mouse, serial mouse. B represent block devices like your hard disk and other storage devices. Then, how these permissions are applied on files and directory. So read permission on file means you can open the file for reading. Read permission on directory means you can use ls command on directory and list the contents of the directory. Write permission on files means you can create files, delete files, change file names, etc. Write permission on directory means you can delete files in directory, create a directory, rename directory, etc. Execute permission on files and scripts means you can execute a binary file or a shell script. Execute permission on a directory means you can use cd command to get into the directory and list the contents of the directory. So how these permissions are applied? So if you have a permission like this, that means it is a regular file and user has full permission, right? 7, isn't it? What are the permissions of group and others? 7, 0, 0, right?
Yes, sir.
If you
Yes.
have a permission like this, user has read write, that means 6.
4.
Group has 4, others has 4. If you have a permission like this, user has 7, group
7.
has 7, others has 7. And if you have a permission like this, user has 7, group has 5, others have 0, right? Isn't it? Hello guys.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Now, what is the command used to change the permission? Chmod is the command to change permission. Chmod, then first you will use numerical method using numbers, then file name. So here you can see the current permission of this file is read write for user, read for others, groups and others. So what will be the current permission? 6, right? 4, 4, isn't it?
Yes,
Hello?
sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
if I use chmod 644 m file, will it change anything? Nothing, right? I am
No, sir.
applying the same permission, ls-l m file. It is the same. There is no change. What if I do chmod 000 m file? All permissions will go, right?
Yes, sir.
M file. There will not be any permissions. If I do chmod 777 m file, it will give full permission for everyone, right?
Yes, sir.
ls-l m file. So it has full permission, read, write, execute for everyone. So if I want to give full permission for user, read, execute permission for group, execute permission for others. How will I do that? Chmod, full permission for user, execute permission for a group 1, execute permission for others 1, M file. So ls minus l, M file will show you the result, correct? This
Yes,
is how
sir.
you will change numerically. In symbolically, how will you change this? You will use letters and operators. So you will use U to represent user, G to represent group, O to represent others, OA to represent everyone, all. And the plus will add a permission, minus will remove a permission, equal to will assign a permission. So U plus X, it will add execute permission for user. U minus X, remove execute permission from user. U plus X, add execute permission for user. GO is equal to comma GO, group and others will get read and execute permission. So let us see these things. So clear everything. ls minus l, M file. So this is the permission. So I want to remove execute permission for user and add read permission for others. So how will I do that? Chmod u minus, so u minus x, remove execute permission for user, comma, add execute permission for others, O plus X. O stands for others, X. For file, M file. So if I check ls minus l, M file, you can see you removed, execute permission is already here, right? Okay, so anyway, you have removed execute permission for user. Let us remove the execute permission for others also. So chmod O minus X, M file. So ls minus l, M file, you can see you have removed execute permission for others also, correct? Isn't it? Hello guys, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
you want to add write permission for group. So how will you do that? Chmod, chmod G plus W, add write permission for group, M file. So ls minus l, M file, you can see you have added write permission to group, correct? Hello, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes,
So take the notes and see what we have covered so far. Wait, hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Malar,
Yes, sir.
I will give you the notes tomorrow, okay? See, I have an
Okay, sir.
absent. Please remind me tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
So we have covered this much, correct? No, guys, yes or no? Isn't it? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Yes, sir.
So see, tomorrow when you come to sit, this chapter is very, very important. See, the next chapter is managing users and groups. So if you want to do the things there in managing users and group, this chapter should be very, very thorough for you. Otherwise, you will find it difficult to understand the next chapter. So learn, go through the topics we have covered so far, especially this chapter. And see, we will see tomorrow. I'm leaving now. If you have anything, you can tell me tomorrow. So bye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, sir.
Thank you.